is going to be next Tuesday's workout in the Train With Me community on Train Heroic. We're looking at a full body strength session, heavy pressing in the beginning, light leg work, and then we're probably going to finish up with some intervals on the rower. I'm going to get warmed up. I conclude warm-ups on all the workouts. Usually some rhythmic stuff. I like getting my body moving, getting in a rhythm. Helps me kind of get into that flow state, helps with running mechanics, things like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some skips, some marches, some different rhythmic activities, get our bodies moving, and then jump into some, I think I've got programmed rocker jumps and some depth jumps today. Get those out of the way and then get into the heavy pressing. So what we're getting set up for now, we're gonna move into these rocker jumps. I like to start moderate. Not really looking for max jump height. We're not trying to jump and then get into hip flexion, really push to see how high we can get up. I like landing with a pretty straight leg. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna sit back on this bench, pop up, looking to get a short contact time. So I like to rock back, lift my feet, explode into the floor, land up here. We're gonna do 3 sets of 3 here. We're supersetting these with drop jumps. So drop jumps, depth jumps, 2 different things. Depth jumps, max height. Drop jumps, shortest contact time. So depth jumps usually gonna be done off a taller box. You're gonna jump down, really get into your jump stance and explode up. Still looking to move quick, but it's more about max height. So ground contact time gonna be a little bit longer. What we're doing with drop jumps, it's a little bit less impact, a little bit, but we're still working that short contact time. So we're that stress shortening cycle, we're looking to get really quick. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set up a bumper plate on top of my platform, put it about 6 inches off the ground. I'm just gonna step off, pop up off the ground, usually mainly, it's mainly from the ankles. We'll be at very little knee flexion out of it. It's gonna be a short jump, but fast off the ground. Just working that explosiveness, that elasticity there. Now we'll move into these short contact time depth drops or drop jumps. There it is. Quick little power superset there. Work on this explosiveness and then we'll jump into our bench. We're gonna do 3 sets of 5 reps, probably be around 275 on the weight. And then we're gonna do 3 sets of 8 of dumbbell rows, 1 arm dumbbell rows. Got the adjustable dumbbells over here. They go up to 90, so I'm gonna use 90. But we'll get this first warm up set in. Keys to getting the most out of each set is a thing called CAT, C-A-T, compensatory acceleration training. All that means is you're trying really hard. Every set, we're not lazily pressing through every set. We're controlling the eccentric, we're bringing the bar down, and we're just putting everything we have into it. It's 225 on the bar. When we're doing 225, we're not putting 226 pounds of pressure into it to where it barely moves off our chest. We're putting everything we have into it. We want to move each set, even if it's heavy, try to move it as fast as you can. That's going to produce the most power Make the most adaptations out of what you're doing. No wasted sets in the gym, especially when you have 45 minutes to train. Don't waste your sets. First working set in. We'll see how this weight moves. We're starting with 275. We're looking to keep a couple reps in the tank, not trying to drain it all today. That's one of my keys to being able to train and take less breaks from training is I just don't go to the well as much as I used to, especially when I was younger. I took every set to absolute failure. I just don't do that anymore. Take each set, leave a couple reps in the tank, come back and do it again in a couple days. That's the key to consistency, long-term progress, not having to take frequent breaks from training, not getting injured, things like that. No, not saying it still can't happen, but much less frequently than when you're taking every set to hell and back. So move pretty good. We'll jump right in. Got my dumbbell set up. I like to use these safety arms for support. Gonna press them down, moving into some step ups and single leg RDLs for a superset. All right, so we're moving on to these step ups and single leg RDLs. We're gonna do these in a superset. Reason for the step ups is simple. We're just trying to generate some power, get that lower body, those quads trained without causing a lot of muscle soreness. So we're not controlling the eccentric very much, really just a concentric only movement, powering through that box, letting the weight bring us back down. Reason for this is we did heavy front squats 2 days before this. We're going to do heavy RDLs 2 days after this. And then the following day, I've actually got a speed workout for running, so we don't want a lot of soreness in those quads going into that speed workout. So we'll do that. Then we move on to these single leg RDLs. I like these because they limit load for one, so I'm not getting a lot of muscle soreness out of that. So again, staying fresh for those following workouts. And then for two, it really helps train hip internal rotation. It's how you generate a lot of force through the glutes, is getting an internally rotated hip, creates torque at that hip joint, allows you to really generate force. That's a good first step movement for sprinting and things like that. Also helps work on hip stability. As you can see in this last set, that's something I really could work on that side. So we're subbing in those exercises this week. Probably keep those around a little bit until these look a little more smooth. So good exercise pairing. We'll work on these and then get the rest of this workout finished up. Barbell curl. It's kind of a bro exercise. You see a lot of people, you'll see people with 135 on the bar. They don't need to have 135 on the bar. Using a lot of body English, throwing it around. I like barbell curls. I think they are, might get roasted for saying this, a very functional exercise. And let me tell you why. In 2 seconds. A lot of people don't have very good external rotation, especially athletes. Then we're turning around and asking to do things like Olympic lifts, stuff like that, where especially when you're getting in a front squat position or power clean, anything like that, requires a lot of tucking of the elbows, external rotation of the shoulder to enable you to get into a good front rack position and things like that. Barbell curl, what is it forcing you to do? It's forcing you to externally rotate your hands, which in turn externally rotates your shoulder. You can play with grip width. I go a little bit wider, so because it forces you to tuck your elbows at your sides in order to curl it. So why not go a little bit wider, force more external rotation under load. We're gonna really drive through the inside of our palm. So you don't want to, it's easier if you keep your elbows out and you put the weight kind of in the crest of your thumb there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drive elbows in, force through the inside of your palm. That's gonna drive more of that external rotation. More on the bicep there when you really drive through that inside palm. Like I said, mess with grip width. The closer your grip width, probably the easier it's gonna be to drive through the inside palm. So just go as wide as you possibly can while still keeping that tension where it needs to be. I haven't been on a rower for a long time, so these 200-meter intervals are probably going to kill me, but every minute on the minute. We got about 10 minutes before I gotta go, so we're gonna get 10 minutes of intervals in, so let's get it going. Alright, I got 15 seconds to rest. Three, two, one, go. One more and then shut the camera off and get to work. I can run all day. Rower's a different beast. that's the end of this workout. Got the intervals done on the rower. Yeah, things brutal. Haven't been on there in a while. It's gonna be a fun toy to keep playing with, keep getting better at. Yeah, only way from here is up. So thanks for tuning in. I'll keep more posted. Be sure to hit the link in the description. It's gonna have my Train Heroic page on there. I got one program already updated. It's called Mastering the Basics. 3 days a week, full body, focusing on barbell lifts, the major patterns, squat, hinge, vertical press, horizontal press, vertical row, horizontal row. It's just a really good basic program to get anybody started. It's repeatable, 9 weeks long. Last week is a test week, so you can see all the strength you built. Then you can literally start back from week 1 and run it all through again and test again. It's a really well thought out, easy to follow program. Train Heroic's awesome, walks you through everything, allows you to track all your weights, gives you a questionnaire at the beginning of each session to see how you're feeling, make sure you're ready to train. So check that out. Check out the Train With Me community. It's gonna have awesome workouts every week, all different kinds. Challenge workouts, that way we can compete and keep up on the leaderboard. Just be sure to check all that stuff out. Follow me on Instagram, Strong for Life 365. I'll post more updates, exercise tutorials, things like that. So we'll get you all taken care of. Yeah, see you in the next one.